All right, everybody. Hello and welcome back to this unique game that it really tickles my fancy as both a management sim player and a farming sim player. This is Farm Manager 2021, and don't let the date of the game scare you off at all. Honestly, the the graphics are fine and acceptable. And if you saw my previous attempt at Bluebelly Acres, you'll know that one of the things I said was that the game, I basically went in too many different directions. And it wasn't the game design fault, it was the way that I chose to play it. So, what I did with this save, I wanted to sort of redeem the game for anybody who might be interested in it so that I can show you a more successful version. Basically, there's all these different paths. When you look at, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. When you look at all the different plants that you could possibly put in, and there's tons of equipment that you can buy and use. When you go to look at the buildings, for example, there's several different types of animals and uh, several different types of production, and all of these kind of have their own production chain, right? They have their own production chain. So what I wanted to show with this farm, with this setup, is kind of how I have things going here. So as you can see, we have several cow pens. I have to use the small cow shed because they won't let you uh, build the larger one until you have advanced your technology, which is a whole separate thing that I barely looked at before, but now I'm realizing is important. So, you go to this training manager, and this has tons of information about what you have going on in your farm. This is a massively important tool. You can see prices, all sorts of things. But uh, so that's one thing that I realized. Let's see if I can find it on here under the farm management. No, sorry, not farm management. Where was it? Yeah, the agricultural school. In order to unlock the second level for the cow pen, you need to do this one, and this was very expensive. I forget how much it was, but and it takes a long time, so it takes an entire year. So they basically don't want you to just be able to plop down, a massive cow farm. So I went with 5 of these smaller ones, and then we'll see what happens when we add the medium size. But what we have here is really basic 2 grass fields. We've got all the equipment necessary to handle grass. So you mow it, you windrow up the cut grass, you use this loading wagon over here to pick up the cut grass. They then put the cut grass into this silage pit, and that turns grass into silage. The silage then is one of the things for feed. So our cows are eating grass. It's regular old grass, which is being stored in the barn. So there's 90,000 liters of grass in there right now, 6,300 liters of silage. So they're eating that. You can have them also eat oats, fodder beets, and then various other crops. But for us, we're getting pretty good stats. We're getting plenty of milk from our cows with just these two. Maybe at some point we would put in an oat field as well. But we have those two going. So then the cows, of course, produce milk and manure. And the milk, what we're doing rather than just selling it outright, because if you've played this before, there's a market button here, and you can just say sell. So it'll tell you everything you have. And instead of just selling the milk outright for $3.50 a liter, I am making cheese for $19.24 per kilogram. So that's being made here in this plant, and we have 4 people working in this plant. And because there's 4 on, they kind of rotate through. And you can't really think of labor in this game like you would like shift work or anything. It's more like a an equation. Person puts in their time, and in that time it produces a good. In the same way that a certain amount of grass turns into silage in this pit, a certain amount of milk turns into cheese in this building. And the number of workers makes that go faster. So I have a worker in each of these cow pens, and I have 4 workers in here. We've got people who are qualified to use the machinery. Um, let's see here. So we've got people who work with animals, we've got people that work with machines, and they kind of keep tabs on everything. So right now we are in. So this is a European-based game. So it's actually June 5th of 2022 here. So we can go ahead and speed this up. Now I have this all set up, so I don't really need to do anything. But one thing to note when you're selling stuff, like we've got this 1,000 liters of cheese here, we could go ahead and sell that. But it does show you, see how the price goes really low? The reason that it did that is because I kept selling. I flooded the market. So then I switched to a different kind of cheese and stopped flooding the market, and the price came back up. So right now it's like in the middle there. I think that's a fine time to sell, so we're going to go ahead and sell that. Now we got another 345 kilograms in right as soon as I sold. So this is going to keep happening. Well, we have no warehouse for the grass field. Because we have so much grass on hand. So one thing we can do to just keep the production going is we can come in here. We don't want to sell all of it, but maybe we sell off like 20,000. So that'll get us $5,000. I mean, we have more grass coming in. It's June, so they're going to keep bringing that in. So let's go ahead and do that. That shouldn't hurt our production cycle, and now they can keep going. So here, this tractor's going to come down here, grab the mower like I was talking about earlier. They're going to, they always start in the corner. So they go up to the corner. They're going to go through and do this. Now, it tells you how much you're getting total. So it's not this much per pass, but this is total. It looks like it's, I think, maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, they'll keep doing this. And because we planted that field first, it's slightly ahead on the timeline. But they'll get done with this field, and then they'll do that field. So we have plenty of grass. We could build another barn like this if I can find. Yeah, so we have 276,000. This is so much more profitable than the other version, right? So much more profitable. So it tells me that that it's been harvested. Good. So now they're going to get the windrower. Maybe that guy has to rotate off. See, they need to rest. That's why it doesn't just keep going. So now here's the other driver probably. Comes and gets the windrower. They're going to go down to that corner again and do the same job again. Now, the kind of underlying question is, do I want to, if this will keep making money, where do I go from here? Do I go into a different crop type or, a different animal type? Do I just wait for this to get done and then get more cows? As you can see, this is, the size of our starter plot, but I believe there's also a way to buy more land. You click right here and you can expand this way. So these are only 65,000. We could totally buy another one and start expanding. Here's my question for the viewer. I am thinking about playing this game on my own anyways, and my question to you is, do you want to watch and see how this continues to grow. I learned a lot from that initial failure, but do we want to see what? Too low soil moisture. Okay, well, okay. I'm sorry about that. I think there's. Oh, it's just started raining, so hopefully that'll help. Anyways, if you want me to continue playing this and continue growing it, then I will do that. But if nobody has any interest in watching it, then I'll just keep it off stream, or off recording. Pardon me. But I'm thinking, just offhand, we could do a couple more fields. We could get a few more tractors, a few more workers, and kind of expand our reach here. Wow, I didn't realize we already have 2 of these barns. It would be nice if we could get a more, like a bigger version of that. There's the barn. The warehouse is for like agricultural products, as you can see down there at the bottom, and then a wine cellar. But it would be nice if we could, why have the expansion of your total farm size if you end up having to spam 40 of these things, But oh well. See, there they go. They're gonna take and drop that off in the barn, that grass, because this production, it's not like in Farming Simulator where you need to like physically dump it in here and cover it like you would do in real life. In here, this is just a simple equation. Like, this is a simple equation. This uses nearby grass and nearby grass in here, and it turns it into silage, like on a tick rate, this right here. And you can change it to do this with other materials, but I think this is working great for us, so I'm not going to mess with it. All right, well, I think that's a good enough explanation of kind of where we're at and what we're doing on this game now. If you are interested in... Oops, sorry about that. If you're interested in seeing more, definitely let me know, and I will keep it going on recording. And if you aren't super interested in this game, I'll do it offline. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Bluebelly, and this has been Farm Manager 2021.